All right, here we are. This is Ask a Bookkeeper live on Facebook. We've got Ingrid and Vanessa and Penny here with Steve and Juliet from AIS Solutions and the Kninja Network.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Yay!
Hi.
This year's winners of Intuit's Firm of the Future contest. Welcome, Steve and Juliet. Thanks so much for joining us.
Our pleasure. We're glad to be here.
Yay.
Yeah,
So, Penny.
wonderful. What? Oh.
You had a question?
Yeah, it's so wonderful to have you here, Steve and Juliet. And it was great to meet you at QuickBooks Connect. I know we did that previous webinar before, but boy, to see, I didn't realize you were such a celebrities. You walked on stage at QuickBooks Connect, and you really had everything put together great. I mean, wow. I imagine you guys don't make any mistakes at all, ever. You guys are so amazing.
Well, we appreciate that, Penny. It was lovely to see you as well. And I guess the first thing I'd have to say is I'm glad that we put on such a brave face, because through the whole conversation with Rich Priest on stage, my legs were shaking. So that you couldn't see that is probably a good thing.
Well, and not only that, we couldn't even remember what we had said to each other on the stage. That when we went back to our hotel room, the first thing we did was look at the Facebook video so that we knew what we had actually said, because we didn't remember any of it.
So absolutely not. That everything runs perfecly, and this is something that's just taken in stride.
Don't tell anybody.
Oh, you guys were so composed. It was great to see you up there, and I mean, you really looked like you had everything together. So it's actually really comforting to hear that you are human like everybody else.
Yes,
like everybody else, including Penny.
Right.
Absolutely. And I guess more than anything else, with all the people that came up to us after the announcement of the win and for the rest of the conference, we were very touched by all the support that we got. So thank you, everyone that supported us, before the voting process, during the voting process, and especially at the conference. But I guess more than anything, we got a similar reaction to what you said, Penny, is you guys have it all together. And I guess maybe we need to dispel that myth that we don't absolutely have it all together. I mean, we make mistakes like everybody else that's out there watching. We probably have made every mistake that's possible as we've grown AIS and still remain in business and be able to keep the doors open. And if you guys are interested, maybe that's what we talk about a little bit is what the journey is like. That it's not like this. That it's like this.
Yep.
I think that's a great idea, and really just focusing on the understanding that we're all in the same kind of boat, and that whether you've got a brand new startup that hasn't yet made its first $500, or whether you have a business that's making 500 million, it's success is messy, and we're always our worst critics. And people see these things from outside, and we have a habit of comparing ourselves and judging ourselves by comparison, when really what we're seeing of each other's lives, especially here on social media, is the highlight reel. People see you go up on stage and they make these assumptions in the same way that we see stars on the movie screen, and we say, oh, it's so glamorous. Oh, I want to do that. People have no idea what it took to get there. So tell us a little bit about the journey. What does it take to get there?
Right.
Would you like to start?
Well, I think step one for us was probably 5, 6, maybe even 7 years ago, 6 years ago, was we were in a place where, like many others, we were working crazy hours. We felt like we were on one of those treadmills you see the mouse on in the cage, right? Where we're just running and running and running on that wheel. And, we just sort of looked at each other and thought, is this really what we want to do for the rest of our lives? Like, we felt we were reasonably intelligent people. We felt that we weren't lazy people, but we were just busy going nowhere. And so we made a decision, and it may very well, if we look back on it, it may very well be one of the smartest decisions we ever made. And that was, we made a decision to hire a business coach.
Fantastic.
And it was a very difficult decision, particularly probably for me. I have been a small business owner for pretty much my entire adult life because I don't play well with others. I couldn't follow instructions, so I knew I had to be a business owner. And I had had some reasonably successful businesses. And so here we are, you know, thinking, okay, well, why do I need a business coach? I mean, you know, what is so different now? But once I guess I got my ego around it and my head around it with some smart advice from my wonderful wife here, we made the decision and said, okay, we have to change something. We have nothing to lose. Let's try it. And so we started working with our coach. I think it was 2012 or 2011. Yeah. And we still worked with him to this day. In fact, we had a session with him this morning. So the journey is never over. But that, I think, was one of the smartest things we did.
So it kind of sounds like for a while there, you thought you did actually know everything. And then it took a
Absolutely.
But
yes.
Only after that point did you get the recognition for the achievements you've made.
Well, and we found also, I mean, when, you know, Steve says that we, you know, we hired a coach in 2011. When we hired the coach in 2011, we couldn't afford the coach. And so we're thinking, you know, well, should we just be closing AIS Solutions down, or should we be, you know, taking the next step and taking it to where we want to be? Because like he said, we were working all the time. 70 hours a week was probably a typical week or a light week for us. We'd go on vacation and we'd be connected. That there really was no vacation and no downtime. And so when we made the decision, okay, well, you know, let's try this. We didn't have the money in the business to do it, so we took money out of our retirement plan to pay for the coach. And it really, more than anything, that was terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're not sure that we wanted to continue with AIS Solutions, but hey, let's take out our little nest egg here and put it back into the business to see whether or not this is the right thing to do.
Well, and it's
very scary,
a bit crazy when you think about it. Like when we look back on it, you know, what were we thinking? But anyway.
But I guess the message that we're trying to get across is that everything goes up and down. I mean, every business, it's not, you know, a straight line up.
Yeah. And you cannot do it all by yourself.
Yes.
You have to surround yourself with good people and listen to advice. And if you think you can do it all by yourself, I think you need a thought adjustment, would you say?
Sure, that's a pleasant way of politically correct.
A clue by four. Get a clue by four.
Exactly.
Oh, I like that.
I like that. That's good. Yeah.
Surrounding ourselves with good people and good puppets.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
And occasional
I guess
ninjas.
More than anything, that was the message, you know, that we wanted to share, was that it's not easy. Everyone that's running their own business knows that it's not easy. The perception of people who are not entrepreneurs, who, you know, are from the outside looking in, oh, you run your own business. Well, you must make so much money and you must work whenever you want and you probably don't work very much. That's the perception of people who don't actually run their own business. That you have all the advantages and all these tax deductions and you have it so good. But if you're in the reality of running a business, you know that's not the case. Whether you're, again, like you're just starting out, you've been in business for a while, or even, you know, as we are with the Firm of the Future, we're still a small business that has its own challenges. They're just different at every level.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question. You said that when you got the business coach originally, that you didn't have the money for it, and so you took it out of your retirement. How long did it take before you were able to pay that back? I think a lot of people don't get a business coach because they're scared it'll never have a return on investment.
I can answer
that. That's a great question.
And since it's a numbers question, I'll answer.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I guess there were two things that came out of us hiring the business coach. One was turning the business around to pay back what we took out. And I would say on the outset, it was a year. I'm not even sure that it was a year before we were able to see that change in our business to pay ourselves back. But more than the monetary side of it, what the biggest shift for us was the personal side of it. And we started with him in 2011, where, as I said, we hadn't taken a vacation, in I don't know how long, where we were disconnected. In 2012, so a year after we started working with him, we took a 2-week, totally disconnected vacation.
Wow.
Which was, for us, I must admit, we were really nervous, and we're sitting on the beach and thinking, should we call? Should we just check in and see that everything's okay? But we had made the commitment. It was completely disconnected. And we'd even given the guidelines to our team at the time, who I think we were a team of 3.
Yeah.
And we had said, if don't call us for any reason, whatever comes up, you guys can handle. If the office burns down, here's the phone number of our insurance agent, and call the fire department. Don't call us. And what we found, which also was very surprising for us, is that challenges came up in the 2 weeks that normally we would have taken care of. But because we had empowered our team with this responsibility, they all rose to the challenge. Yeah. And they took care of everything.
Yeah.
And everything was running when we came back. The building was still standing, and everything was fine.
And that was a huge learning for us, because it was the first time we had ever done that. So I guess, I would also say, with regards to the business coach, I would say we started to see a difference in our business, in our mindset, in our lives, probably within 6 months. So would that be fair?
Yeah, where we actually started to see results. Yeah. The first 6 months, it was shifting everything that we had learned and doing and putting the processes in place to do things completely different.
Yeah, and I think also for the first 6 months, we also spend a lot of time pushing back on our coach.
Yes.
Because he was suggesting new things, different things that's what we'd hired him for, but it still meant we had to think differently. And so it took a lot of effort, I think, on his part. Yes. And he stuck with it, and I'm very glad he did. So, yeah.
So was he like a magic bullet for you? Like he came in and just poof, everything was great after you got past the resistance, or like, would any coach be able to do that, do you think?
No, not at all. The coach, it's going to fundamentally depend on who the coach is. There has to be a personality and a respect connection that takes place. But a coach is different than a consultant, where the consultant is going to come in and fix it all and do it for you. The coach is only going to tell you what or guide you, but you still have to do the work. And so it was probably, we worked harder in those 6 months than we've ever worked before. So certainly not a magic bullet, but from a mind shift perspective, yes.
Yeah, and one thing I should add too about our coach, because he's obviously a very important part of our team, our business, our life. We've now become friends. But he told us something that we didn't know until very recently. And when we hired him as a coach, he was a relatively new coach, and we were one of his very first clients.
Oh, wow.
And so he shared with us, I guess just a few weeks ago, that when he started working with us, he was absolutely terrified because he knew we had taken the money out of our retirement savings to pay for him. And he said that he felt an incredible amount of pressure because of that, but never told us.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he has sort of grown, I guess, like we have grown, where he is now the #1 action coach in Canada, and he is in the top 10 globally. So his business has also grown. So I guess we were very fortunate to meet each other.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. And actually, it's a somewhat similar story to what I've been through here with Polymath. When I started working with my coach, who's actually a member of the Ask a Bookkeeper community, Lauren Fogelman, you can friend her on Facebook. She's fantastic, and follow her at businesssuccesssolution.com. And we've got quite a few other fantastic coaches in the group, but it's that learning and growth experience. And Lauren was actually the first one who talked to me about the idea of building the plane as we fly it. And this idea that we're all kind of making this up as we go. We all have to do the first thing at some point. We can't have experience in every area. We have to do it the first time at some point. And with that, one of the things that we often forget as accounting professionals is that accounting professionals are small business owners. We are entrepreneurs. We're also figuring these things out, and we end up putting on this professional facade or veneer, these masks that we wear, thinking that we have to be perfect for our clients, when if we are more vulnerable, to put it in Brene Brown terms, daring greatly, if we're more vulnerable and we're human with our clients, then we have an opportunity to show them that we're in this together, and that yes, we're coaching in the same way that somebody might coach their kid's little league game. That doesn't mean we're perfect. Coaches aren't perfect. Accountants aren't perfect. And we need to be able to make mistakes and be honest and completely transparent with each other. And that it's going to actually improve the relationship and offer more opportunities for learning and growing. And I think the main thing there is working with a coach is a fantastic place to start. It's not the only way to get that kind of coaching. And like I said, we actually have quite a few fantastic coaches in the Ask a Bookkeeper community. I know Michael Miller is in our group. He actually posted a fantastic post on the Facebook forum yesterday that I suggest everyone check out. But in addition to working directly one-on-one with a coach, there's opportunities for peer feedback, such as a mastermind group. There's opportunities here on Ask a Bookkeeper to get feedback on social media. There was a handful of years ago, one of our colleagues posted a survey in one of the other groups. I think it might have been USA Bookkeepers or something like that. And it was, what are the top things, the top 4 things for making progress in an accounting firm? And people were posting things like, get on the cloud, use this app or that app, build a team. And I'm reading through these things and I'm saying, these are processes, these are tasks, these are not the top 4 things, because they're missing the foundation. And I ended up posting something, I said, other, none of the above. And then I ended up posting something that quickly became part of our core values here at Polymath. It's turned into what we call the Journey of 4. And I see the top 4 things that we need to focus on for having an effective accounting practice or any effective business being self-awareness, interest in ongoing self-discovery and improvement, willingness to step outside of our comfort zones, and genuine interest in helping others through the impact of our work. Until you have those 4 things going for you, no process or app or anything else is really going to help you get to that next step.
Ingrid, I love it.
Yeah, no, that's great.
And those things are the things that are helped by working with a coach, by joining a mastermind group, by working with other accounting professionals, by joining the Kninja Network, for example.
There you go.
Those are some fantastic things. So before we hop off our call, because I know we've been on for 20 minutes already, I wanted to just mention a couple opportunities like these. So we've got our accounting bootcamp program, which people can learn about at polymath.com/accountant education. And then, of course, there's Ask a Bookkeeper and free opportunities there. I would love it, Steve and Juliet, if you would tell us a bit about the Kninja Network.
Sure. So the Kninja Network was designed more than anything to solve pain points for us. That was the initial concept for it. We kept hoping somebody else was going to build it. Nobody else built it. So we said, what the heck, let's do it. But it's designed to get around pain points for bookkeeping, growing a bookkeeping practice or a firm, whether you're 1 person or you're 10 people, which is staying on top of the technology, QuickBooks Online, the apps, growing your business through digital marketing, so your website presence, your social media presence, and then managing your practice, creating workflows and processes, how to hire team members, how to onboard team members and onboard clients. So it really is designed around all 3 of those, what we feel were the biggest pain points for us. So figure that other bookkeeping firms would also be the same.
Okay.
So it's kind of a roadmap so that people don't have to try it the first time on their own.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
And then Steve and I also do group mentoring with businesses in the industry as well. So bookkeeping practices or bookkeeping firms that want to, learn from all the mistakes that we've made.
Yep.
Fantastic.
And so did the Kninja Network and your group mentoring, did that come directly out of the work with the business coach, or how did that come about?
That came about from Steve and I sitting on a beach in Jamaica and saying, okay, no one's building this, we need to build it.
Yeah.
Obviously our coach guided us along the way.
Yeah.
But it came from some mudslides in Jamaica on a beach.
Wow. Well, it's so amazing. I love that you're doing that, and you're going to make Canada a much stronger place for small businesses.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate
That's
that, Penny.
wonderful.
That's the goal.
And we appreciate all the support you guys have given us.
Yes, and I do have to say that one of the highlights for me at QB Connect San Jose was actually meeting you in person, Penny. That was one of my highlights for the whole show.
That's so sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yay, wonderful. So if people want to learn more about the Kninja Network, where can they go?
www.ninja.net, and it's Ninja with a K.
So KNIJA.net.
KNINJA.
Right. I forgot an N. .net.
Yes. Yeah, we made it as confusing as we possibly could.
We'll put it in the show notes, comments underneath.
Sure. Perfect.
Perfect.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, Steve and Juliet. This has been a lot of fun, and congratulations again on your big win. We were hardcore behind you, like I said in our last interview, when we were kind of campaigning on your behalf. For us, it's about the fourth pillar. We talked about the three pillars of the firm of the future, which are getting online, being connected, and offering advisory services. And we think that there's a fourth pillar for that, and that is collaboration with our peers in the accounting profession. And
Absolutely.
you guys have that in spades with the way that you are helping other accounting professionals learn and grow and succeed, because there's no such thing as competition. We're all in this together. So thank you so much for all of your great work.
Thanks so much for having us.
And see you again soon. Bye.
Fantastic. Have a great day. Thank you.
Bye.
Congratulations.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Ingrid. Bye, Vanessa.